All right, guys, Dave Man Max 6. We are back at the Fit Club Las Vegas, and I'm here with the 2020 overall bodybuilding champion from the USA, Chris Robinson. Chris, welcome to Muscle Beach TV.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. How you doing?
I'm great, man. We're excited to have you, and Jay insisted on having you. You're now in Vegas. We're going to talk a little bit about your journey, but you used to be in California. I was actually there when you won the West Coast Classic overall championship. That was a couple of years ago, right?
Actually, it was 2019, wasn't it?
Was it last year?
The most recent one I did two.
Oh.
I did one in 2017 with you, I believe.
Okay, so, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
You remember that?
I did, yeah.
What did you do then?
I won my class,
Okay.
but Santi won overall.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I
Yeah, I've
competed
done it a
with
few
you.
times, so that's possible. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
the last one I did was the most recent one.
Yeah, and
and
that's
I-
the one where you won everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Awesome. So we want to go back a little bit. You're a young guy. You're only 29 years old, and already you're making a big splash on the scene. You killed it at the USA. Looked tremendous. So we want to get to know you a little bit better and see, where you came from. So take me back a little bit and tell me how you got into bodybuilding. You were into sports before. You're an athlete. So take me back a little bit and tell us how did that happen.
Well, I played a little bit of football, so when it came to the weight room, I was always an ego lifter. Always that dude that wanted to be that strong guy that was always the strongest one in there. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I did get hurt my junior year of playing collegiate football. I went to University of Washington. Coach Sarkeesian was my coach. Being that guy that was always in the weight room doing extra stuff, I figured why not take it seriously and start to compete and see what happens.
What year was that?
2016 was actually the first year I actually started to compete. Before that, my guy named Kirkland actually had approached me and asked me why not I take it serious. And that's exactly what happened.
So you had to get hurt in football finally for you to say, I'm going to give this bodybuilding a shot. What was your first bodybuilding contest ever?
San Diego Championships 2016, June.
And how did you do that?
Won my class, didn't win the overall, however.
What class? Super heavy?
Yes, super heavy.
So what was your first, how much do you weigh right now, by the way? Because you look huge today.
I'm 300 as of right now this morning.
And how much did you weigh at your first show?
My first show, 247.
I'm quizzing you right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
247. Okay, so you put on 50 pounds since 2016 on your first show.
100%.
Unbelievable.
Sure.
You're still in shape, as you can see. Well, we did a little bit of training today. You're not a soft 300. You're still in really good shape. You kept yourself in condition since the USA. You look great.
I'm that guy that takes my off season very serious. I was that dude. I was told by an old head a long time ago, the bodybuilders that take their off season serious are the ones that win. So when it comes to putting on a whole bunch of unnecessary weight, I'm not that guy. I'm that guy that likes to gauge myself in the mirror. So therefore, if I'm gaining good weight on the scale, I know it's good weight on my body. It's simple to me.
You were telling us, me and Jay off camera, that you're working with our good friend Stan McQuay from Physique Inc. and David Calic is doing your dad. How long have you been with Stan and Dave?
I've been staying with Dave a little bit over a year now. Wow, time flies.
And how did you meet?
Through Ron, my good friend Ron Gordon. That's one of my best friends who's an IFBB pro. He got 5th in the Tampa Pro recently. He hooked us up, and it's been sky's the limit since then, man.
How did you learn the basics? So in 2016, did you have a coach back then? Did you read as much as you could? I'm always interested to see how people learn, from the beginning, diets and everything.
I actually worked with Sam. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's out of Orange, California.
Okay.
That was my very first coach. Second coach happened to be Kai Daly from Earn Fitness out there in Newport Beach, California, and my third coach would be Dave.
Okay.
And Dave is the one I'm sticking with, and Dave is the one who took me to the promised land, and that's where I'm going.
So you were actually in California. You were living there. You left about a year and a half ago. And what were you doing in California? Because you actually had a regular job, and that's not always normal for bodybuilders.
Yeah, I was that guy working at Enterprise, working 50 hours a week. I was that guy that was actually prepping and working a regular job.
Enterprise? I don't really see you working at Enterprise.
Yeah, everybody says that. Cars, rental cars, man. Rental cars, really? Actually, there's a lot more to Enterprise than rental cars. It's actually a whole side of the business people don't see. Enterprise is actually a very good program. It actually has taught me a lot on the sales side.
How long were you working there for?
A little bit over a year, close to 2 years.
And then you left to go?
I did leave. When I left, I was actually the #1 MT in Southern California. I'm #1 on the board. I actually had an opportunity at Tesla, but unfortunately, due to the pandemic, that opportunity no longer happened. But everything happens for a reason because, as we started this interview, I did tell you, I firmly believe if I was working 50 hours a week, I wouldn't have had the energy and the strength to actually win USA. So I believe that everything happens for a reason.
How did you manage to have a serious job like Enterprise and manage to eat, 5, 6, 7 times a day in the training? How did you do it?
Carpe diem.
What does that mean? Seize the day.
Carpe diem, man. That's my attitude. One thing Coach Sarkisian always taught us playing football was, as long as you keep your life full circle, everything will happen the way it's supposed to be. You got football, you got school, you got class. As long as those 3 things are happening the way that they're supposed to be, your life will revolve around those 3 things the way that it's supposed to. So I took that with the corporate world and I hate to be a loser. Point blank period. It didn't matter to me how many hours I was working or whether the fact I was up at 4:30 a.m. I wanted to win.
Wow.
And that's exactly what I did on the sales board.
And in bodybuilding, I might add. But were they actually supportive of what you were doing to let you eat your meals, and how did you squeeze them in? I'm curious.
I did have a lot of bosses. Unfortunately, I did have a lot of bosses that did allow me a lot of leeway.
Nice. Because you gotta eat. They're busy over there.
I gotta eat. But actually being number 1 on the sales board, you give and take. So you know what I'm saying? I would say that I was number 1 on sales board. So if I ask for extra time to eat, I feel like I was given that extra time to eat.
As long as you're performing, the product, do whatever you gotta do. Yeah.
Exactly.
I like it. Exactly. So why did you decide to leave California to come to Vegas? What was the main reason?
California is not worth it. Southern California is way too expensive. What I pay for my apartment is 3 times less than what I was paying to live in a bedroom.
Wow.
So move if you live in Southern California.
I think a lot of people are listening to you right now. You know that there's close to 1 million people who have left over the past few months, obviously because of what's going on. But I think Vegas is going to be the new Mecca. What do you think?
Most definitely.
Right.
Funny story, when I actually came out here and I was looking at apartments, the lady who actually showed me the apartments had said she's seen 3 people from California the same day.
Wow.
And I actually read a statistic that said 50% of Californians could move if they wanted to. If they could afford it, they'd be gone.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to have a job to where I could put a transfer in. And I was doing good at that job to where my sales accolades actually allowed me to transfer to wherever I wanted to.
Okay, so when you moved, you were still working for Enterprise at the time.
100%.
Oh, so that's great to be in the big chain because you pretty much go anywhere you want in the country, especially if you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I could still go to a check, which was the best thing. I didn't have to worry about not having a job.
Okay, so when did that happen, the move from Enterprise to possibly Tesla? How many months ago?
March. So right
March,
when the
okay.
pandemic hit.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Gosh, I wish you would have worked at Tesla. It would have been interesting to see what it's like. What were you going to do over there?
Selling Powerwall. Sales guy, believe it or not.
Look at this guy. Best salesman. You can never judge a book by its cover. That's for sure. He says he wants to buy a Tesla. No, he's serious. You just mentioned that before. Chris, talk to me a little bit about your bodybuilding goal. So you were telling me, to have to not get hired and actually go on an unemployment actually was a service to you because for the first time since you started doing bodybuilding, you were actually able to live like a full-time bodybuilder and put all your energy into this goal of yours.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. As we discussed before, I was allowed to eat and train, and that was the only thing that was on my mind, and I was 100% able to concentrate on that. And I think that situation of me actually losing my job was a blessing.
Everything happened for a reason.
Most definitely.
So what gym are you training at in Vegas right now? Normally your home gym.
I'm out of LVAC off of Eastern.
Yeah. Are you the biggest guy in there?
I would say so.
He's humble. He doesn't want to tell. He's too humble. He's a humble guy. You kind of remind me of the guy from the Green Mile. What was his name? Do you remember him? People tell you that?
All the time. Michael Clark Duncan, man.
He is awesome, that guy. I love him.
I just shaved my head during the pandemic because the barbershop was closed, and now that I shaved my head, it's like I get the resemblance more.
He was awesome, that guy, man. I loved him. Oh, man. Okay, so Chris, what do you want to do with this bodybuilding thing? What's the ultimate goal? Do you want to make it to Olympia? Do you want to win the Olympia? What is the ultimate goal?
Make it to the Olympia, win the Olympia, take care of my mom on a bodybuilding salary, period. If I can make money bodybuilding, that's exactly what I want to do. However, I'd say I'm not naive. I understand that does take a lot of courage, and people say that contracts are not the same as they used to be. But either way, man, I'm still going to try to strive towards my goal. And I do have the resume on the corporate side either way, if I wanted to go back to that. So I would say I'm setting myself up in both avenues, in both directions, to do what I want to do.
That's the dream.
Most definitely.
Are you happy right now?
I'm happy as hell, bro.
What else can you ask for, right? You get up every day, you do something you love. What else can you ask for?
For my mother not to work. That's something else that I can ask for.
Is your mom in California still?
My mom is in North Carolina, but she's actually trying to move out here.
So are you from Are you from North? Where are you from?
I'm originally from New York. I'm originally from Rockland County, New York. I moved to California in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you leave New York for?
Mother actually got remarried.
Okay.
Unfortunately, she's not with him anymore.
Okay.
It's a different story. But yeah, it brought me to Vegas.
It's so funny how life works, huh? Did you someone who actually liked the winter and the cold winters and the snow and all that stuff? Did that bother you, or you love the sun?
I was a baseball player.
Okay.
I actually didn't play football until my freshman year. Actually ended up being good at it. I'll tell you that because when I moved to California, I was actually able to play baseball all year.
Yes.
Travel ball, because it's 70 degrees basically all year in Southern California. So when I moved to California, to answer your question, no, I hated the snow. But when I was in New York, it was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was a kid. Snowballs, snow angels.
That's what's cool when you're a kid. I remember riding snowmobiles, back in Canada. So, I mean, I would love the winter for that. But as you get older, you're not so much into the sport.
Nah.
It's more
shovel the car out. Nah. Nah, I'm good. Wake up 70 degrees shorts. That's the life.
So have you decided, now that you're a pro, have you decided what you would like to do for a first pro show, depending if we're going to have, I think we're going to have a lot of pro shows in Florida. Most of them will probably be there because we know for sure they won't be canceled. But have you thought about what you would like to do in 2021 for your pro debut?
Me, Dave, and Stan are shooting for the Cal.
Boom.
Cal Pro, May 2022. Gives me a good year to grow and another 3 months to prep.
But you're in shape already right now. As of right now, how long do you think it would take you to actually be show ready? What do you think?
As of right now?
As of right now,
my goal in my off season is to always stay 10, 12 weeks out. Always. That's my goal, to not put on more fat than it takes to take it off in that time
I don't think it would take you that long, actually. You're pretty lean right now.
But in terms of improving, my back needs to get thicker, lower rhomboids. I feel like my lats sit too high a little bit.
Okay.
Calves can get bigger. My hamstrings definitely can be dug out more.
Okay.
So.
Wow, you're very critical of yourself.
I'm very, very critical of myself, and I'm most definitely my biggest critic. You can ask Dave, because Dave tells me to calm down and get out my head half of the time.
That's not always easy. How often do you see Stan and Dave? Are you going back to Cali to seeing them? Are they coming here? What's the deal?
Dave actually has a house out here, man, so it works out perfectly.
Oh, yeah?
I actually see Dave probably once a month, man.
I didn't know you had a house here.
Man, it's awesome. It's awesome, man. It works out perfectly. Dave comes out here a couple of times a month, and I see him, and we train.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Well, it's good to know. So California 2021 is the pro debut. It'll be great. I'm sure we'll be there. We usually go every year. So around Memorial Day weekend is usually when they have it, right?
Yeah.
It's
in May, right?
Yeah. So how many weeks will we be from now? Do you know? You should know.
I know the months.
Okay.
15 months.
Okay.
I got 12 to grow, three to prep.
I like it. Chris, anybody you want to thank out there, any of your fans? First of all, how can people, if people have questions, how can they reach you on Instagram or a website or anything like that? You want to give that up?
I'm at Chris2Swole, so that's my name, CHRISTOO, Swole.
On Instagram.
On Instagram. And as far as that, I'm working on a YouTube as well.
Oh, you should.
I definitely need to do that. I'm working on a website as well, get my marketing up, and it's going to happen sooner or later.
Are you helping people with prep? Are people reaching out to you to help them with their prep or training or anything like that as of now?
I personally don't feel as if I'm ready to prep people to get on stage.
Wow. Okay.
But I am that guy that if you want to come to, I can help you lose weight and I can help you gain weight. As we discussed, I gained 50 pounds of muscle since 2016.
4 years. Yeah.
And I actually have a client who lives in Georgia, I believe, and he lost 30 pounds with me I believe in the length of 3 months or so.
So transformation or like bettering yourself and stuff, you help people.
Most definitely. I'm definitely a lifestyle coach. Don't feel as if I'm ready to be a prep coach. I'll step in that venue when I feel as if I'm ready to do so.
Well, that's awesome, Chris. I'm very excited you got to come today at Fit Club. It was nice to meet you. Jay, like I said, Jay insisted on having you on the show. He said, we need to have Chris. He's local now. Let's reach out to him. I think he reached out on himself first, which he never does. He usually leaves that up to me. So
Awesome, man.
You're on his good list.
It's an honor. Let me stay on it.
Keep an eye out for this guy, Chris Robinson, only 29 years old, at the 2021 California Pro. We're gonna keep following you, Chris. We're very excited about your future, and we wish you the best of luck, my friend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Dave, my Max 6 with Chris Robinson for JayTV, and we're out.